Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Bornstead. So, winter is coming. I mean, you guys, in jet lag? Look how puffy my eyes are. So, I woke up this morning feeling like I was in winter after being in Maui for 2 weeks. And I have all of this to harvest today because our first freeze is due 2 days. I have 48 hours. But God is so good. Can I tell you? But God. Because I remember being in Maui and feeling the nip in the air. And I remember the realization hit me that when I got home, what I was feeling there was going to follow me back across the Pacific Ocean. And it most certainly did. So today, I'm going to show you guys what we're doing here at Starkey Farmstead to prep and prepare our animals for 30-degree weather. The first thing we're going to do, good morning. Good morning. Well, hold on, I must play with the puppy. Good morning. What you got? Come here. What you got? Come here. What you got? Give it. Go give it. You better give it to your mama. You better give it. You two better stay over there. You better give it to your mama. Y'all listen, get it now. That's right, huh, Atlas? So tell them. You gonna give it to him. You better give that stick to mama. You better give that stick to your mama. You guys, this is the oldest dog I have. That's 8.5 years old. And Spunky, put your dogs on raw food. You better give it to mama. You better give me that. Give me that. Give me that stick. Give it to me. He thinks he's so ferocious. Get ready. Get it. Yeah. It's so much energy. You better get that stick to your mama. You better give me. You better give. You ready? Get it. All right. Back to farm chores. So, tarp. All right. The reason we tarp this side and only this side, that's north. The coldest, most harsh wind will come this way, all right? So what we do here is we tarp, drop it to the ground, zip tie it to the bottom. So it's a flat surface because here's where the roosting poles are. They're already tarped on top to keep frost, drizzle, rain, that kind of stuff that tends to come in with our cold here in Louisiana. Everybody has different weather. And that weather is going to affect your property a little different. Super important to understand how the wind moves on your property. The way you can figure that out, if you really don't know, go stand in the middle of the yard. Feel where is the wind hitting your body first. For me, standing right here, right now, the arm holding the phone, my right arm, is freezing. It's freezing. My left hand is no wind at all. So I know that on my property, I'm getting bombarded from the north. Notice the tarps up here, and they have weighted wood on them. All this gets dropped, you guys. So what happens is they're tarped on the back, tarped on the front. I hay them out, okay? So this is the only time of the year that my rabbits get hay. We start in the fall, we hay them all the way to the spring. Not only is it bedding, it also helps with their feet a good bit. And you're gonna find that your rabbits enjoy, if you don't have boards in every single pen, they're gonna enjoy that break of their feet being on the metal, okay? So it's a good time of year to do it. The moms will kind of pick it up and put it in their nest boxes, so make sure that your babies aren't getting tangled up in it, all right? Because we use like a wood shaving in our nesting boxes. I do have some baby chicks that have been born while I was in Maui. I have baby rabbits due to be born. So I am super excited, you guys, to come home to a thriving, healthy farm. We had basically like a farm manager on our property while we were gone. And I mean, I paid him right at $500 for 12 days. He lived here. And he did an amazing job. He did an amazing job taking care of all of my animals. Any babies yet? What we got going on in here? Come on, you guys. So you can see, we left him tagged, right? These were all the rabbits that we're gonna need nest boxes. Were you doing nest box too, though? I really thought there was 4 of y'all that were due nest boxes. Next thing, any frost sensitive plants, which is my entire garden right now, need to come out. So we do a heavy mulching system here at Starkey Farmstead where I do not remove the debris out of my garden, okay? So I'm gonna let my debris and all of my materials stay in my garden and let it die down through the winter so that it is my hay for the spring. It is my mulch for spring. Now, most of my plants are dying off anyway, because they know what time it is. One thing I want to show you guys, you see those little purple flowers? Those are native morning glories. Notice that they are still open. They're still open. In fact, it looks like they haven't closed in a couple of days. That is an indicator that the weather's fixing to turn. So what I've got here, let me turn the camera and I'll show you what I need to pull out. So I've got pumpkin, squash. Oh yeah, it's all dying. It feels that cold, it knows. We've got some squash in here, some winter squashes that hopefully, yeah, those are gonna be big enough. Are gonna be big enough to carry us for a while. I've definitely got some more okra. It's gotta come off this. Let's walk over here. Oh, look at that big pumpkin hiding in there. Got a big old pumpkin right up in there. Pumpkins over there. The hibiscus needs to be pulled. All the okra over there. I'll see what corn is ready to be picked. Oh, it's gonna be early. None of that's gonna be ready. This was kind of an experiment. This needed about 2 more weeks, you guys. Pretty starting though. I mean, it started pretty. That's okay though. Whatever's not fully matured on the corn, toss it in there with your chickens. The rabbits can eat all of this. They'll love it. Even if you don't get it to harvest, always get your seeds in the ground. You can't go wrong. Hammer, get out of the garden. Thank you. The only one allowed in the garden, you guys, is this one because he's my snake killer. So you take it, train your dogs, give them each a job. Hey! All right, so this one too is dying. Whew. That pumpkin won't quite have enough time to come full harvest. Actually, that's a mutation because that's supposed to be a summer squash and it mutated with the pumpkin. So, oh well, I'll pull it too. It's all right. Got some cucumbers on the ground there. I'll get all that. Oh, well, I had a deer come through here. You can see the deer spots, but this is coming up nice. It's seeding quite nicely. All right, we'll see how the summer crops do. I'm sorry, we'll see how the winter crops do. But it's time for all this to go. It's dying out. Winter's here. Now, this is where the sweet potatoes were. And there's the bell peppers. So yeah, I've got a lot of summer crops still out here that have to be gotten. And now the cool thing was, you guys, I did a total no dig, no till sweet potato vine patch this year. So getting the sweet potatoes out shouldn't be hard at all. For me, it's basically flipping this metal off, rolling that hay back, and the sweet potatoes will be up underneath all that hay. What? Get out of the garden! I mean, I know it looks like a dying flower bed, but dude, for real, come on. Don't you eat my Trumbacini squash. Y'all, these dogs got into my Trumbacini squash so much when I was gone, they love it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This, the Trumbacini squash. Yeah, the dogs loved it. So what I'll do, you guys, I'll pick all the food and leave the plants as they are. And they'll slowly die out, and all of that will become mulch on my soil for next year. Wish me luck, you guys. Say a little prayer for Sam. Got a lot of work. Very short time period to do it. I have the worst jet lag bags under my eyes you've ever seen. I feel amazing though. I do. When you work for God, you find that you have like supernatural energy, because we flew all night Sunday night. We didn't get back into Louisiana till 1 p.m. Monday. And then we got our vehicle out of the airport. It didn't want to crank, which was hilarious. It's an old farm truck. Sometimes they crank, sometimes they don't. So I got to meet the security guy. He called someone to come jump it. So we had a long talk about government and government control. So moving on to government control, I'm going to add in a clip someone sent me of what's going on in Hawaii and Honolulu right now with some medicinal marijuana dispensaries. Now, whether or not you agree with medical marijuana, I believe that if they're working with the state, they have every right to grow it for people, because one of my best friends is fighting breast cancer. That is the only relief that she gets. Hold on. And coming from someone who was once addicted to pain medication, I think there should be more opportunities for people to have pain relief than just narcotics. So this is a legal operation that is run in Honolulu that was rated by the federal government. Now, people are going to see this happening everywhere. Federal government's still against marijuana, even though some states have agreed to make it legal. So this is where you get into constitutional issues, because the federal government's too big. It's like a big flipping bully. It should not be in Hawaii raiding legal Hawaii licensed medical dispensaries. If you can't get past the medical marijuana and understand what I'm trying to tell you, then you're part of the problem on why stuff like this keeps happening. You guys, the federal government should have no jurisdiction and no legal right to be in Hawaii, because Hawaii passed laws saying they were down with this, okay? So watch the clip, drop in the comments what you think. Let's talk about it. If you've not done so, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Oahu's North Shore says he supplied nearly 1,000 patients, and they need their medicine.
Jason Hanley also expects to be arrested soon. Our Lynn Coano broke the story last week and joins us now with his side of what happened.
Hanley says the feds spent hours that day ripping the plants right out of the planters. He says they also seized financial records and cash.
This is what the greenhouses at Care Waialua looked like before last week's raid. Rows of plants tagged in boxes. This is what it looks like now. Our cameras were there as agents with Homeland Security Investigations, Honolulu Police, and state narcotics officers moved in on the farm, seizing truckloads of plastic bags filled with plants.
We have a lot of patients that are in hospice. We have patients that are kapuna, disabled vets, and they have nowhere to go now.
Hanley has been working with some state lawmakers to expand the use of co-ops for patients who aren't able to afford dispensary products but cannot grow in their own homes.
I have arthritis from my tailbone all the way to my neck, and sometimes I cannot sleep, and marijuana puts me to sleep.
I have fibromyalgia, and so it affects my shoulder blades. All of us individuals who have different medical problems.
I use the oils, I use the CBDs. My 10 plants are gone. There's nothing I can do to get them back. The state doesn't provide us seeds.
Ken Kasich has cancer. The former civilian contractor assigned to clean up radioactive materials in the Marshall Islands says he and the other patients have all followed the state rules. But marijuana is illegal under federal law.
There's a lot of hypocrisy going on here, and to invade a small farm that's been operating with transparency, large transparency. I mean, we've opened our gate to everybody, It's just mind-boggling for us.
Hanley says he expects to be arrested given the amount of resources put into the execution of the search warrants at the farm and his home. He says he will fight whatever the charges are. A spokesperson for Homeland Security Investigation said they could not comment on the case. In Wailua, I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii.
Let me tell you guys what really bothers me. Because you know I'm going to do it. What bothers me is that right now, in parts of California and Arizona, are military-style marijuana fields being sprayed down with fentanyl, okay? Ran by cartel, Mexican cartel, funded by the Chinese, and our government does nothing, right? It's like military bases. I mean, I don't know that we've got the manpower to raid those, but you'll go raid a medicinal marijuana licensed small farm using American taxpayer dollars to do so when they are completely transparent and working with state officials. It's not like this guy is a backyard weed grower in Southeast Louisiana who's selling to underage children and getting housewives high. That's not what this place is, and I need you to truly understand that. He's not spraying down his plants with fentanyl where your underage grandchild or niece or neighbor's child is going to die from smoking it. In fact, he wouldn't sell to them because he understands what his purpose in life is, and that is to provide relief for people in hospice, you guys, people who are dying. One day that is going to be you and is going to be me. So my question is, how much more of this are we Americans going to stand for? Because at some point, we have to come to the agreement that even though we don't necessarily like it or do it, we understand the purpose of it. I don't like narcotics, but I would never tell someone who has a broken leg or just had surgery or is dying that they couldn't have their morphine, okay? But I sure would fight to make sure that legal dispensaries stayed open for those people, because I understand at some point in my life that could be my parents, okay? My friend depends on her medical marijuana in the evenings to hold her food down and to be able to have some pain relief because she cannot take pain medication. So this hurts me in a different type of way. This bothers me in a different type of way. And then I see the federal government stepping all over small businesses that are trying to do the right thing by being transparent and open to everyone. And yet I know of places that they ignore. So that's all I'm going to say. I'd like to know what you think. I really would. I'd like this to be an open conversation and not a debate on religion or anything else. It's not about that. It's about law. And I think people really need to understand that our federal government is like a big fat tick.